better know now because it's the place that it all goes down.
Hey guys, welcome back. We're back from after a week off with TWSN Soccer Sitdown Show. I'm Joe Cameron, joined by my good friend Christian the Black. How you doing, Christian?
Good, man. We have the international break at the moment, so there's not much to talk about. We do have some things we can cover. Most notably, what's going on in international football. There's a couple key points we want to hit on. But yeah, no, it's good to be back. Fortunately, Max woke up a bit sick this morning, so hope he's doing okay and feeling better. But yeah, excited to be doing our show together.
Yeah, it's great to be back. And the first thing we have to talk about is a very, very, very sad event that took place on Thursday afternoon. I'm still in mourning over it, but Italy got knocked out of the World Cup by North Macedonia. And when I told my father this, he said, North Macedonia is a country? So, yeah. Oh, my God. Christian, I didn't get to watch the game because I was doing some stuff for school, then I was in the gym. I figured we had it locked up, but obviously not. And part of the problem is the fact that Italy still has yet to find a good striker.
Yes. I mean, I watched, I'm trying to think how much. It's maybe 65 minutes on. So I watched a good portion of it. And I mean, North Macedonia had 10 behind the ball, sometimes even 11. And like you mentioned, I mean, there's just not anything going right for the Italian national team in terms of forwards, feels like. I mean, Ciro Immobile has been great for Lazio. I think we all agree on that. But then when you start talking about him, I don't know how many goals he has for Italy. Let me look.
They play completely different systems. He's not going to work international.
And then they even brought on João Pedro from Calgary, who has never even played once for Italy. I think he's originally Brazilian and then changed his citizenship. And they just couldn't do anything. And then North Macedonia gets one break. And it's funny because I think it was the same guy that knocked Italy out of the 2018 World Cup, if I remember correctly, because North Macedonia was the same one. I feel like I saw it on social media, but besides, disappointing. I mean, as someone like you who supports the Italian national team, it's hard because you haven't made the last two World Cups, but you won the Euros, so you kind of trying to, pick both sides and what's, is it really that big of a disappointment? But
it's
you also
disappointment. But I'm going to be honest with you, I'll take Euros.
Right,
we sold our soul for Euros, and I don't really regret it because I mean, look, the World Cup's the World Cup. I'm just going to be rooting for Neymar at this point in the World Cup. Like, not going to lie, like. Obviously, I would have loved to see Italy in it. I'm not going to lie. It hurts that we didn't make it, right?
It also hurts the way it happened.
Yes. Doesn't hurt as much because I didn't watch the game. That helps.
Yeah.
But, I mean, overall, I don't know what to say. I mean, Donnarumma's been having a few stinkers now. He's got to get his confidence back. Italy didn't have Chiesa, who's arguably the best player. I mean, Italy has a good team, though. They have a good midfield.
It's not an excuse to lose. No disrespect to North Macedonia, but it's
No.
I mean, I don't even know.
Italy has a good to great midfield, a pretty good defense, normally a great goalkeeper. The problem is their forwards, and that has kind of always been a problem, it feels like. So,
yeah, I mean, if you look at the numbers, too, I mean, it's ridiculous that, Italy had 32 total shots. And I think only one, and according to what I'm looking at, only one of them was considered a big chance. Over 90-plus minutes at home. Those numbers just aren't good enough. It just from what I was seeing, it was kind of just like, playing the ball across all areas of the field. But once you got into the final third, nothing was there for them, which, I mean, is kind of the theme we've seen. And I think, when they played so well at the Euros, it was kind of because, guys like Chiesa and Insigne were creating out of nothing sometimes where they could just do it on their own. But, of course, Chiesa is not available. Insigne, wasn't able to do anything on Thursday. So, yeah, I mean, definitely.
They never should have been in that position to begin with, though.
What'd you say?
They never should have been in that condition.
No.
position
They
to
should have taken. They should have controlled what they could have controlled long
Yeah.
time ago, and just got through no problem. But it wasn't meant to be.
I mean, it's going to be interesting now to see if Mancini gets sacked.
I doubt it. I would say it's hard.
That Euro win was big, though.
Oh, if he doesn't win the Euros and then this happens,
Yeah.
I think you're right. You might be onto something. But considering he won a major trophy, I doubt it. He's probably got another run in him.
Yeah, and so with Italy out of the World Cup now, excuse me. Let's talk a little bit of the U.S. men's national team. They got a draw against Mexico in Mexico, and I'm just gonna what's it looking like for our patron U.S. men's national team reporter.
Sure. It's difficult because I'll be honest. The U.S. have never beaten Mexico at the Azteca in a World Cup qualifier. The same goes for I'm blanking on the stadium's name, but when they go to play Costa Rica next week, they've never beaten them there either. So it's gonna be difficult. But the thing was, going into the game, U.S. had beaten them 3 times in a row. The Mexican team is very old. It's not a young team. I mean, they have some pieces across the board that are, very talented, but they're overall a very old team. So it was kind of the time for the U.S. to take advantage and, punish them for really not being at their best throughout qualification, and they weren't able to. Pulisic missed a huge chance, and then
it starts with a P. I'm blanking on his name.
PFOC came off the bench, and Reyna found him. It was a great ball from Acosta to Reyna, who played him right in the 6, and he hit it with his left foot and went towards the corner flag.
Looked like me yesterday playing soccer. Can't lie.
Yeah, I mean, and PFOC's been good too because he's leading the Swiss league in goals. It's the Swiss league.
Swiss league.
Top
7 league in Europe.
Sure, but I mean, he's done it in the Champions League too. He scored a winner against United. I mean, you're gonna say it's United, but definitely
not wire back there. That doesn't impress me.
Yeah, he only scored that goal because Lingard made a terrible pass back towards De Gea, and it just didn't travel far enough.
I remember that. Yeah.
It was in the first group game. If I remember correctly. But right now, Canada's probably going to get I think Canada's clinched at the moment, or they're basically clinched, and then you have the U.S. and Mexico 3 points back, with Costa Rica behind them by another 3, and then Panama isn't with 18, so 4 behind them. Which makes the U.S.-Panama match on Sunday in Orlando big. Tim Weah is going to be unavailable through yellow card accumulation. Tyler Adams, who's probably our best midfielder without Weston McKennie, same thing. I think DeAndre Yedlin as well. So we have to replace him at right back. So I'd expect the U.S. to win. But then again, Panama's been very good. Panama did beat the U.S. at their own place in October. So, yeah, it's not going to be the easiest match, but hopefully they can figure it out. But in terms of U.S.-Mexico, I guess looking back on it, I'm okay with a draw because the U.S. have never beaten them there. But considering everything involved and how, the Mexican team hasn't been that good, I'm kind of disappointed we weren't able to get the 3 points, which shows how good things have been for the U.S. because if we're talking about comparison from now till 2017, being disappointed with the draw at Mexico is, progress in that sense.
So what's it looking like for our qualification?
Yeah, I mean, I think in order to get through, if they win on Sunday against Panama, it's pretty much in. Unless Costa Rica can win their game as well, who plays El Salvador on the road. I mean, I don't know all the specific, situations of what it would be, depending on what the results are. But basically, take care of your business. Take care of your business on Sunday, and you leave really nothing to do with the game against Costa Rica next week. So, and I expect them to win. I think they're much better than Panama on the surface, and Luis Diaz, yeah. I think they'll be able to figure it out, but certainly far from done.
Yeah, that's a good thing. And I guess now let's just talk about World Cup in general. What are we looking forward to watching? And who are some of our favorites? I'll go first. You know who I'm gonna say. You know who I'm gonna say.
Of course I do.
Let's go Brazil. Let's go Brazil. We need to name our World Cup. We don't have Max on the show to shut me up here this week, so I'm gonna talk about this in detail. We need to name our World Cup. It'll be good for the sport. He's arguably the most electrifying player to watch in the sport still at his age. He and he's just been great on the international stage and Europe. I think giving him this opportunity to show up, and I think this is going to be his last World Cup. It's going to be Messi's last World Cup. It's going to be Ronaldo's last World Cup if he makes it. Of course.
That's if he gets in. Yeah.
I mean, North Macedonia is some giants over there. They're giant killers in Europe. So,
I mean, I don't know where the match will be, but I mean, also needs to be mentioned. Well, Portugal was good for the first portion of the game, and then Turkey got back into it. So
the dark horse,
huh?
The dark horse.
Yeah, I know. We all were on that for the Euros.
We were all on the Turkey dark horse bandwagon, and they got cooked like a Thanksgiving turkey. But yeah, I'm rooting for Brazil, and then I don't know. I guess for France. I mean, I think I can root for England now this time, right? I'm not making a bet about getting a soccer jersey. So
we know. I mean, you might change your mind on any given Saturday.
Yeah, this is true.
And just have the sudden urge to say you're gonna put some risk in here involving England.
I mean, they got Southgate though, so I mean,
yeah, that's the issue.
I mean, I'm intrigued. I don't think you could feasibly tell me, like right now, you can't tell me that this England team that they have right now is stronger than the one that they had in Euros 2020.
Yes, and I think you're right on that because
Maguire's
key guys are not playing well right now at all.
Luke Shaw's doing nothing.
Maguire.
Calvin Phillips is injured.
He's basically back, but he's not going to be like full fitness for a while.
Grealish doesn't play.
No. I mean, yes and no, because I think like Saka's playing better now than he was during the Euros.
Can he convert a penalty though?
Okay. That's a one-off situation. But I mean, like Rashford's at the same level he was for the Euros.
No. Rashford's been stinky.
No, Rashford wasn't good at the Euros either. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but he was better during the season. He's on better form. Well, the season.
He was on better form last season or this season?
Last season.
Yeah, but I'm saying specifically you're looking at just his performances in the Euros.
Sancho's been a lot better though.
Yes. Especially
Kane is interesting because he started off the season bad, but he's picking up form now.
Yeah, I would agree.
I still think you could argue he's
like Sterling's not been good recently.
Yeah.
But then again, you know, I feel like he's always been, or certainly if you're looking at his Euros, he's much better for England than he is for City. Or at least more important.
Yeah.
I don't know. You're probably right, which then, you know, begs the question of do they start like pulling some other guys back in? Because like Ben White's been a lot better than Harry Maguire this season.
Yeah.
I mean, the left back's interesting because Ben Chilwell's hurt, so they don't really have.
I think they should call up what's his face, Eric Dyer. I truly think he should be called up. I think he's been playing.
They brought on Mark Guehi from Palace. I know that. I mean, I don't know. I mean, they have a decent amount of depth at center back if Maguire's not doing things. I mean, they have Stones. Well, they usually have Maguire. Yeah, I mean, Dyer. When's the last time Dyer's been in? It's been a while, right?
Maybe
Did he go to the 18 World Cup?
Maybe sometime during that season or something like that. The 2018-2019 season, he might have been called up. But
yeah, I mean, I think that's a good shout. I think he's played really well since transitioning from CDM to more of a center back. So, but yeah, no, I mean, you have France. I mean, obviously, your love for Neymar leads to Brazil. Yeah,
I'm also an Mbappe stan now, so go France. And I've been a Pogba stan as well. Pogba, he needs to move out of United. By the way, he needs to leave United.
Yeah. No, I mean, and he's probably going to. I mean, I don't see him renewing
They're
his
saying he's
contract.
going to PSG, but I don't want him to go to PSG. He's not going to fit there. Where's he
Not
fit on
not under
PSG?
the current regime, no. That'd be a mess.
They never should have fired Tuchel. Never
There's
should have
really,
fired.
but it's not even a manager thing though. It's like even higher up in the club where the issues are.
That club is terrible, terribly run club. Terribly.
Yeah,
Run.
I mean they're a mess. That's a topic where we could spend a whole show on, in all honesty. But yeah, I mean Brazil and France are probably the likely two. I think if Portugal gets in, they're interesting, but there's
That
not like
country plays some of the worst football I've
maybe
seen.
Spain's the other interesting one.
I love. Yeah, we got to talk about Spain because
I think I really like their front line. I think it's like very improving. You can play Ferran Torres as 9. I hope that for Ansu Fati's career, he can get it together injury wise. But I mean, their midfield's fantastic. You have Pedri in there. I mean, I'm blanking on what their usual team is. Like they've kind of blossomed Thiago out of the lineup in recent months, but they're defensively still very structured. I think it's
they
a team
play
that
great
has a
football.
lot
I
of-
mean, I just specifically remember them dominating Italy in the Euros 2020. The problem is they just didn't have any clinical finishers out there.
right. I mean, they were relying on guys like I think Jared Moreno and Iago Aspas.
And
That's
Morata.
the greatest, especially at their if you're comparing them to other teams in Europe. But yeah, I mean, I think anytime Spain's in a World Cup with that kind of quality across the board, it's a team that has threats and the ability to dominate games, especially with the midfield, like you mentioned. So, yeah, I think Spain's a sleeper. I'm hesitant to say Germany. I just
That's
think
too old to me.
it's not even. It's just I don't know who to trust up front. I mean, we saw them against England in the Euros.
Kai's been pretty good. Kai's been pretty good.
It's I think Kai's very good. Like, don't get me wrong. I just don't know if he's the guy that I would trust for a whole tournament. Maybe in a one-off game. Like in a one-off game against Manchester City in the Champions League final, he was excellent. But I mean, across
He's a big game player. He's like playoff Pulisic. He's a big game player.
But about it, but I think Belgium's past it. I think Belgium's blown their chances. I mean, Eden Hazard just had surgery again.
Too many Spurs players on Belgium. Too many.
That's not my reasoning, but
that's my reasoning. That's why they couldn't win anything. They had too much Spurs DNA in them. Too much. Can't a country can't win with too many Spurs players. You saw England in 2018. Half their team was Spurs. They didn't win anything. Too much.
I got a question for you. Let's transition a little bit from this topic. A sleeper team that makes a run. I'm looking at odds right now. What do you feel about Denmark? Did they make a run again? No.
No, because I think they can make a run in Europe, but when you throw in the South American teams and even some CONCACAF teams who could do something.
I think that's fair. Is there anybody that strikes you as a sleeper team, maybe that can get to maybe a quarterfinal, maybe sneak into a Korea? South Korea with Son.
Son, and then what's his name, Hwang Chi on the Wolves.
Yeah. He's South Korean too.
Yes,
he's been very good too.
Yeah, exactly. And they've been. I mean, I know it's in Asia and it's not great, but they've been pretty dominant over there.
Well, because I mean, I'm trying to think of the last Asian team that did very well.
South Korea.
Japan was the team that took Belgium to extra time in 2018, I think.
I don't remember. I didn't really watch much of that World Cup, to be honest with you.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Portugal too. I don't think a lot of people are really thinking Portugal could make a run. They could, but they're a weird team. Like that entire team is just anti-football, just to get goals and assists. Does that make sense? No real this is how like they're the opposite of Brazil. Brazil showboating, like fun to watch. That's not that's not Portugal at all. Portugal is more of a get a goal and assist and be stinky the rest of the game. I mean, look at Bruno Fernandes. Yeah, look at his goals and assists. And
I think there's certain players though that play like I don't know what to describe it as
I guess
traditional,
like
traditional play style. I mean, Bernardo
like a showman play style. They got João Felix.
Yeah, I mean he doesn't like he's
He
not
doesn't play that much though.
What'd you say?
He doesn't play that much though.
Yeah, no, he doesn't. He didn't start on Thursday. He ended up coming on. It was cool to see him, and I think it's hard to see him getting a lot of opportunity at the moment. But Rafael Leao, when I watched him for the brief couple minutes, I mean, the dude's electric. I wouldn't be surprised if Milan wins the Serie A title strictly because of his qualities.
We need Napoli to win the Serie A title.
Yeah, I mean that'd be a cool storyline with Insigne leaving too. Because when's the last time Napoli won a league title? It's been a while, right?
Long time, maybe 80s.
So
when they had Maradona.
Probably.
And also because Maradona just died. Rest his soul, but
right. And the stadium's now named after him.
They have a Napoli. So, they have a Maradona kit too. His face on it.
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be tough for that to happen. I think. I'll look at the league table, but
I think they're in second. They're like 2, 3. They're 3 points off.
Yeah, because Inter kind of had a pretty good grasp of the title race.
Yeah, they're 3 points off. It's definitely still.
Yeah,
possible.
I mean, a lot of time. I mean, what is it? 8 games left. 8 games for those guys, and then Inter's got 9. You know what's funny? Juve was near 7th or 8th a couple months ago, and now they're 7 points off the top.
Because there's Allegri is him. Allegri is him. They never should have sacked him in the first place. I don't know why they parted ways.
They also I mean you weren't high on them to begin with, but them losing Bentancur and Kulusevski, that's bad from Juve.
Yeah,
like
but
they're aging too. They're such an aging squad.
Yeah,
like that was just. I mean, they have some good players in their team at the moment this year. I mean, Juan Cuadrado's playing as best as he's ever played.
Gaze's injury hurts them. Too.
Yeah, I mean,
Moise Keane's there.
Yeah, I mean, well, actually, speaking of, I just noticed that Vlahovic also is injured now, so they are injury prone.
We need to have a conversation about him because he hasn't done that much over there.
But like, how long has he been there for? He's been there for a couple months.
All I know is my transfers from Serie A are doing well.
Hey, you know what?
No drama though.
We'll give your guys credit, but we'll give him a little more time before we jump the ship on him yet. But yeah, I mean, definitely not ideal. I mean, them getting bounced by Villarreal in the Champions League kind of was a microcosm of how the season's gone. But yeah, no, I think it's going to be interesting in terms of the Euros. Netherlands might be an interesting one now that they've gotten rid of De Boer at the manager spot. I think Louis van Gaal is much better than him, especially for that team. They got Van Dijk back. It's funny because I've been hearing a bunch of stuff about Dondi not even getting back into the squad, Van de Beek. We'll see if he can get back into the squad for the Euros.
He ruined his career by going to United.
Oh, I can't. Yeah, I don't really know what to look at that.
Able to play his first ever cup competition.
What'd you say?
Is he going to play in his first ever World Cup?
Who? Donny Van de Beek?
Van Dijk.
Why wouldn't he? Barring injury.
And he likes to duck the smoke. He misses Euros. He misses World Cups. You never know what happens to him.
The World Cup was not his fault.
All I'm saying, man.
I don't want to hear it.
Competitions. He ducks the big competitions.
He'll be there.
He's no Christian Romero. Speaking of Liverpool, are they going to win the title, Christian DeBlock? Are they going to win the title?
Without Max here, this was kind of one of those questions I'd like to avoid. Are they going to win the title, man? I mean,
that When does City and Liverpool play? Because
Yeah, I woke up this morning and was immediately thinking about that game. So if
that
you
was the
can't
first thing you're thinking about. I don't know if I believe that. I don't know if I believe that, Christian Bly.
Sunday,
I don't know
April
if I believe that.
please. See Sunday, April 10th, 11:30. That's the same time.
Maybe we watch the game together.
I will be here, so that will not happen.
Not good.
Are we gonna win the title,
Is that
man?
at Anfield or is that at City?
No, it's at the Etihad.
Etihad?
I don't know, man. I'm hesitant to say yes. I'm
That's
gonna
gonna be the game. That's gonna be the game.
go 100% because I don't. Okay, we gotta go. If we're gonna do this, we're gonna dive into their fixtures. You know,
I'll look at Liverpool's. You look at City's.
Burnley away for City,
Okay, and you guys got
Watford home.
Watford home. Okay,
Okay, so it goes Burnley for them. Then they play Liverpool at home.
but don't forget Champions League though, because you guys got Benfica too on that Tuesday. Saturday, Tuesday, then
Yeah,
Sunday.
no, the games, and don't forget also City plays Liverpool in the FA Cup semifinal now. So there's a chance we could face them. There's honestly a chance we could face them another 4 times if we.
So I could see you guys losing to Spurs and United. That's
Spurs
about
at
it.
home.
Yeah, at Anfield.
Mm,
I can see it. We outplayed you guys last time. I can see it. Especially with you guys in all competitions. You guys might be tired. We'll have fresher legs.
what's the game prior to the Spurs game? Is it one of our non-Premier League games?
April 30th against Newcastle. Then we play you May 7th.
I don't know. But
you have to remember there might be like a Champions League if you guys advance.
I mean, I'm not going to say it's a guarantee we beat Benfica, but I think if we play anywhere close to our best, we are much better than Benfica.
Yeah, and then you got to think you might be playing some team in.
Sure. No, you're right.
Bayern in the semis. Who, by the way, I think Liverpool gets to the final this year. I'll just straight up say it.
Yeah, I mean, on the surface,
you guys are better than Benfica, and then I believe if you guys win, you'd likely play Bayern.
Bayern plays.
And I don't think Bayern's that good. I think. Can I get into a conspiracy theory on here, by the way?
Go ahead. Here we go.
All right. So I believe there's a Bundesliga conspiracy theory going on, right? And I believe it's led by the bookies and the heads of the Bundesliga. Everyone knows Bayern's far and away the best team in the Bundesliga, right? Yet they inexplicably drop random games to terrible teams, and no matter how weird it seems, it always seems like there's a title race going on around January to late March, and then all of a sudden Bayern doesn't lose a game the rest of the season. It seems to me that they try to make it so that there's bets are placed on teams to make some extra money for the league because Bayern could theoretically go invincible. I don't think that's a far stretch to say for how good that team is, but they don't. They drop games all the time. Let's look at the Bundesliga table right now. Yeah, you're telling they're only 6 points clear. Come on.
Yeah, I mean,
and Dortmund once again is pretending to be competitive. Yeah, okay. 10. What? Like, how many more matches are there left? 38 games in the Bundesliga schedule.
34. Yeah, 30. It's 34 because there's 18 teams in that league.
Okay, so 34.
7 games to go.
Bayern's winning out, and Dortmund's going to drop too. I'm telling you, watch. They wanted to make it seem like it's competitive when it's never is.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of you seem to be pretty consistent on your feelings of the German league. I somehow find myself getting criticized because I'm a sneaky Dortmund fan, as you would say, Joe. Or I'm just hoping
where's John? What would John?
What would John say? John would say the same thing as me, man.
Right.
He's hoping and praying.
Tell them to win a Bundesliga then.
I mean, unfortunately, they're going to lose Haaland to someone.
Thank God they're losing him. That stupid club doesn't deserve him.
The problem is, I think he's going to City, which is.
I'm
scared. I'm scared.
I'm not 100% sure he succeeds in the Premier League. At least
he doesn't have a great.
He is terrible on the ball. He is a counter-attacking player. I don't think you could put him in a high possession based team and he's going to succeed play that well.
I mean, yeah, I mean, I don't know.
His
I'd have
build
to,
up play is awful. He doesn't have a very good touch, and he's not a great passer. I don't know if he really fits. He's a great
do you
scorer.
think he has similar issues to Lukaku then if he comes? I mean, maybe.
Yes.
I don't know.
Yes.
He's a bit different, but I mean, I could see it. I mean, the Premier League is the toughest league, and teams
Like
like
I
to
used
sit.
to be a Holland Mbappe guy, but no, Mbappe is the best player in the world, bar none. It's really not even close.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty high on Salah at the moment still, but he's taking a bit of a dip.
All I'm saying is, if you look at if Salah doesn't get a goal or assist, how is he affecting the game?
Oh, here we go. This again.
How is he affecting the game when he doesn't get a goal or assist?
What's Mbappe doing?
He's still affecting the game, buddy.
We'll have to agree to disagree on that one. But
Let's pull up the sofa scores, baby. Pull up the sofa scores. There we go. Sofa score. Kylian Mbappe sofa score. Let's go. There we go. This is hard hitting journalism right now. So let's see. He's averaging about a 7.54 rating recently, and Salah's averaging a 7.47 rating. So they're basically equal. Okay, you might be onto something here. Okay.
you know, I do watch a little bit of the sport, so
I do too. I do too. I watch French League soccer too. Don't forget that.
Yeah, you're on your own there. I don't.
I'm a big Uber Eats guy. Huge Uber Eats
We're a
guy.
big Uber Eats guy.
League. But I think we should transition now to Barcelona and Xavi's Barca, who are now playing incredible football. Just dispatched Real Madrid 4-0 in El Clasico. Aubameyang scored a few, or one. How many did he score that game? That was multiple.
He had a brace.
That's what
20
I thought.
opportunities to make a hat trick, but
Yeah, they're playing great under Xavi, and maybe Coleman was the problem.
part of it. But I think the other thing is the signings they brought in too. I mean, Aubameyang, where was this for Arsenal? Nowhere to be seen. I mean, Ferran Torres has been very good. I'm trying to think who else they brought in. Adama's been fine, but he hasn't been a difference maker. But I think also, Coleman didn't like Dembele either, and now Dembele is playing he's in the best form he's been at for Barcelona maybe the whole time he's been there. I mean, it comes at a weird time because he's out of contract in the summer. So, I mean, as a neutral, I hope they can find a way to keep him. I don't know. His wages are high though, so it's going to be hard. But I mean, it seems like, I mean, I just can already think of a front three where it's Aubameyang, Dembele, Ferran Torres for a while. And then you have guys like Memphis Depay coming off the bench. Like, that's a very deep front line. I mean, they still have a lot of issues, I think, in the defense. I think Araujo is very good. But Ter Stegen's not been, an excellent keeper by all means recently. Jordi Alba's getting up there in age. Is Serginho Dest really the answer for a team that's trying to compete for the Champions League and La Liga? Probably not at this point in his career. I mean, I hope he can get to that level. But so I think the defense is still their biggest concern. I think Pedri and Frankie de Jong, if they can keep those two together for a long time. They have Ricky Puig as well. I mean, they're very good in that midfield as well. So as long as Xavi can continue to improve as a coach and they can figure out the defense, I wouldn't be surprised if Barcelona can compete for a league title next year. I mean, I don't think Real Madrid's getting any better. If they get Mbappe,
I mean, they're gonna get Mbappe though. So
still, I mean, it's gonna take some time for Mbappe to transition.
What if Haaland goes to Barca?
He's linked for everybody.
He's linked to heavily the City and Barca, the two teams.
I mean, I think I think he does better in Spain than he does in England.
I do too.
Going back on your point, at least in terms of transition, I think he would transition a lot quicker. Yeah, but I think Barcelona is on the right track. I think I was a little hesitant to think Xavi was the answer, but so far so good. So I mean, there's not much criticism we can give him. They're also progressing in Europa League as well, which I mean, say whatever you want about the Europa League, but it's still showing progression because they've won 2 rounds now. I'm blanking on who they beat in the first round or the first knockout round, but they beat Galatasaray.
Guy, Barcelona.
Oh,
They're
they beat
still in
Napoli. They
they're
battered
still
Napoli.
they're still in the hunt for the La Liga title.
Are they? They're 12 points back.
Yeah, but they have a game in hand.
Okay, 9 if they win
Uh,
it. I don't. That's a bit of a stretch to
I mean,
me.
the thing is, Real Madrid is. Are they really going to drop points though? Like,
I mean, they've dropped. They already have. I mean, they have enough. I don't know.
I don't
When
think
the
they
issue,
have
the issue with
I
Barcelona,
don't think so. I don't think they're dropping points.
not that many.
No.
Especially, it's also
Maybe they could drop points to Sevilla and Atletico, but other than that,
no. I don't.
it's going to be tough. But they're not out of it.
It's funny because I'm looking at the league title right now, or the league table at the moment, and we were kind of like discussing it as if Betis was going to get into the top 4, Sociedad was going to get in the top 4 a couple months ago, and Barcelona and Atletico Madrid were going to fall apart, and now the same old 4 are going to finish in the top 4.
Yeah,
Funny how it works.
interesting, right?
Yeah, because I mean, Sociedad was playing well at the beginning of the year, and Betis has been pretty good, and then you find the same old 4 with Sevilla in the top 4 as well. But Real Madrid won the title. I mean, it'd be cool if somehow Barcelona could figure it out and make an incredible comeback over the next. They got what 10 games left, but they'd have to win out and hope for 4 losses. Doubt it.
Also, I mean, if we're going to look at relegation battle real quick, shifting topics before we wrap up, I think Burnley might be finished. Everton,
Yeah, I mean Everton's picking up points. Like in order for them to have survived, they probably would have need Leeds.
Everton to lose out,
Leeds would have had to have not won those 2 games they've won.
and Everton would have had to lose out.
It's just like not going to happen. I mean, Everton has
Too big to fail. They're just too big to fail.
yeah. I mean, like if we look at their fixtures, West Ham away. I mean, Everton's probably going to lose that match.
West Ham, we got to talk about them too because they fell off.
But yes,
early in the season, people were like, "Well, are they going to compete for the title?" No, they might not even get Europe.
Okay. I don't know. That was a bit of a stretch, but yes, they've fallen apart in the league. If you want to, I mean, they're kind of where they should be because I don't think they're anything like a Champions League side, but they are, a team that should be competing for the Conference League. But they're progressing they just beat Sevilla in the Europa League, which is an incredible feat for them. Well, I hope just for the sake of the story that they can figure it out. They play Lyon in the next round. So they're going to see your guy Tengi.
He's that guy, bro. I'm telling you, he's that guy. He just can't play in England.
Yeah, that's probably fair. Yeah, I think West Ham. I mean, but yeah, going back on Everton, I think you're right. I mean, I think the bottom 3 stays. I don't see anybody picking up enough points to survive, even with Burnley's games in hand. It's just not there. I mean, they play Manchester City next. I mean, they can.
We
Sit
know how
back
Manchester City does
I mean,
relegation.
I hope Burnley wins that match.
I mean, we know how Manchester City does against relegation sides, though. So, like,
Yeah, they rarely drop points. I mean, the points they've dropped more points against Crystal Palace than almost everybody else this year.
well, they dropped 6 points against little Tottenham Hotspur.
Oh, you know what? That's true. So I can thank Crystal Palace and Tottenham Hotspur for giving me a league title race.
Oh man, I guess before we wrap up, let's just talk quick top four. Can Spurs do it? Can Spurs jump Arsenal?
No,
No.
I would say no. I just think Arsenal's playing too well right now.
What about with the fact that Spurs and Arsenal play each other?
But the Arsenal also
wait.
has a game in hand.
Yeah, but look who they play still. They haven't beat the games in hand are huge here. I mean, games left to play are huge because one of Arsenal's games in hand is against Chelsea, and they can't beat Chelsea.
Wait, you guys play them again?
Yeah, we do at the Lane.
Oh, I don't know why it's not coming up on my thing.
Yeah, we play them at the Lane still.
Maybe it just
they
hasn't been.
haven't scheduled it yet though.
That's why. Then maybe I'll give you a slight chance. But if you ask me,
because if we pick up 3 points there, we're tied on points, and then if they lose to Chelsea, which is probably going to happen considering against the top three, Arsenal, the goal differential is 1-17 in all comps. I think like Arsenal can't play against Chelsea, City, or Liverpool.
Arsenal can't, is what you're saying?
Yeah.
Because Arsenal got killed at the beginning of the year. They were unlucky to win the game at their place against City. I remember watching that one early in the morning. But yeah, I mean, if I honestly didn't even realize you guys have a chance to play them again. If you win that, I think you have to win that match though.
Oh, have to.
I think if you draw, even if you draw,
it's going to be the biggest North London derby and arguably one of the biggest in history.
Yeah, I think it's going to be. I'm trying to blank. What was the one where Lucas Torreira scored in? Wasn't there a lot of like, not brawling, but I mean there was a lot of.
There was a fight in that game, but that was so early in the season that it didn't end up mattering. You know, you can make the argument that a
late season
you
derby.
can make the argument that the one later in the season in March was bigger because that game ended up causing what's the word for it? It ended up leading to Spurs getting Champions League because Hugo Lloris saved a penalty, a Aubameyang penalty, and that ended up being the difference maker of Spurs getting top four and Arsenal not. So
yeah, I mean. Yeah, I think it's between Arsenal and Spurs. I don't think United is going to be able to figure it out. So
it's hilarious that they got a Ronaldo hat trick against us, and they're still not going to get top four.
And they're out of the Champions League, so they're not. There's nothing for them.
Yeah, Spurs have a pretty easy the rest of the season. Newcastle on April 3rd, Villa on April 9th, Brighton on April 16th, Brentford on April 23rd, then Leicester on April 30th. Liverpool is going to be the big tough one for us.
The good thing is for both of those teams, though, that they have nothing left in terms of other competitions.
Yeah.
So can just go straight up for the Premier League. But yeah, I think the top four race will be something that goes down to the last 2 or 3 games.
I think the top four race and the title race goes down to the last day.
April 10th.
So you guys can still drop points at the end of the season. So I mean, it's technically going to come down to the last day, I think.
I'm all fixated on April 10th. I mean, I'm not going to take Watford underestimated yet, but
you guys play Wolves last game of the season.
City does have to play Wolves too. Wolves defensively.
You guys play them last game of the season, and City plays Villa last game of the season.
It's a long way to go yet. So, one game at a time.
Well, I think that's all we have for today, right?
Yep.
Absolutely. Thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll see you guys next week.
Get up, let me begin. This is TWSN.